thank you for coming here today as we recognize and honor Major Johnson for his 27 years of service. And if it's okay, I'm just going to call you Brett for the rest of the day. As most of you know, in late 2023, after just 2 or 3 short months on the job, shortly after Governor Kelly appointed me, I came to her with a rather radical proposal, and it was an agency-wide realignment. And as you'll recall, we created 2 new bureaus within the patrol, one of those being the Protective Services Bureau. And in doing so, we needed to come up with a rapidly expanded leadership team, executive leadership team. And I talked to the governor about leadership in the Protective Services Bureau, and she asked me if I had anyone in mind. And I did, and I didn't think she'd like it.
I didn't.
She didn't. But she knew it was the right thing for KHP. She knew it was the right thing for all of the people in the organization. And she knew that it was the right thing to provide the types of services that the Protective Services Bureau was intended to provide. And she knew this because over the course of at least 5 or maybe 6 years, probably only Renee was the person who spent more time with Brett. And she knew who he was, and she knew what he was about. And she knew that she had to place a significant amount of trust in him. And she knew that that was worthy of our trust and the agency's trust. We're grateful that Governor Kelly is able to join us today. She insisted on being here today to help us recognize and honor Brett, and so I'd like to turn it over to her for just a few minutes. So please welcome Governor Laura Kelly.
Don't worry. Afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Colonel Smith, for that introduction, and thank you all for being here as we celebrate Major Brett Johnson and his remarkable career with the Kansas Highway Patrol. Today, we recognize more than 26 years of dedicated service to the state of Kansas and to the people of our great state. Since joining the Highway Patrol in 2000, Major Johnson has built a career defined by professionalism, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to duty. He has served as a trooper in communities across Kansas, piloted aircraft for the Air Support Unit, led executive protection operations, and ultimately guided the newly established Protective Services Bureau. Wherever and whenever he was called, Major Johnson responded without hesitation. Major Johnson has also served as a field training officer, forensic mapper, firearms instructor, and range master. He was promoted to captain of the Executive Protection Unit in 2018, then to major in 2024, overseeing the Capitol Police, the Executive Protection Unit, and the Crisis and Threat Management Team. And although his resume is undoubtedly impressive, what stands out to me is not so much what Major Johnson has accomplished, is how he has done it. Throughout his career, Major Johnson has earned a reputation as a calm, steady, and trusted leader. He has consistently shown discretion and humility. Well, not always. He understands that success in his profession often means that the public never learns the work being done behind the scenes. That was especially true during his years in executive protection. Over the course of his career, Major Johnson has provided protection for 5 Kansas governors. I had the privilege of working alongside him for 5 years during my administration. There is a tremendous amount of trust required in that role. Governors spend their days traveling the state, meeting with Kansans, and representing our state at events large and small. Being able to do that safely requires dedicated professionals who are always thinking ahead. No matter the event or circumstance, he brought preparation, professionalism, and sound judgment. His steady presence allowed me to focus on serving Kansans, knowing safety and security were in capable hands. But Major Johnson's impact extends beyond me, the other 4 governors, and the people of Kansas he has protected throughout his career. He has mentored fellow troopers, strengthened the organizations under his leadership, and shaped the next generation of Kansas Highway Patrol leaders. I also want to recognize Major Johnson's family here today. Public service requires sacrifice, and families serve alongside those who wear the uniform. So to Major Johnson's wife, Renee, his daughters, I don't know which one's which, so Taylor, Jaden, and Nicolette, and his mother, Marcia. Thank you for all your support during his career. Major Johnson, your service represents the very best of the Kansas Highway Patrol, the Capitol Police, and the Executive Protection Unit, and it represents the very best of public service. Future troopers will look to your leadership and dedication as their standard. So on behalf of the state of Kansas, thank you for your leadership, your camaraderie, and your 26 years of service, and congratulations on a well-earned retirement, and best wishes in the years ahead. So before I sit down, that was my formal remarks. And I'm not going to say much more because I think you had to sign an NDA or a confidentiality agreement. I'm going to reciprocate. So I'm not going to tell, and you don't tell.
Thank you, Governor. And as I mentioned, and as she very clearly articulated, he was the right person at the right time for the job. He had the right temperament, he had the right disposition, and he had the right approach. That was a tough time, and we've had our foot on the gas for a long time now. And when I lacked patience, he demonstrated patience. When I was up here, Brett stayed down here. When I pressed hard, sometimes too hard, Brett pumped the brakes. And the results speak for themselves. Apparently there's this state regulation, Secretary Profit can tell me if this is true or not, but apparently when an employee leaves, you still have to do an outgoing evaluation for them. And so being a rule follower, I sat down last week and complied. And as I was trying to do my best in doing a good job in that evaluation, I started to look at what Brett has done and what this agency has accomplished and what his bureau has accomplished under his leadership. I just want to take just a couple of minutes to highlight some of those things. Troop K, Capitol Police. He's created a security administrator. Neil's here today. Created that position to manage the Capital Area Guard program. That includes visitor screening, it includes mail screening, and it includes all of the video monitoring. He then created a court security officer position. This was the old 999 position. He's created that to elevate the professionalism and the experience while weaning off of that old retired part-time setup. He's led the transition of Capitol police officers to becoming troopers. That's a logistical nightmare all on its own, and he led that initiative. Over in what used to be Homeland Security and Emergency Operations, now Troop R, Crisis and Threat Management. He led the transition of this troop from really what amounts to an administrative oversight function to a law enforcement service organization that's responsible for civil unrest, for natural and man-made disaster recovery, and for protective intelligence. Over in the Executive Protection Unit, Troop L, he's incorporated now the Executive Aircraft Program into their mission set. He then has expanded the protective mission with the creation of the Dignitary Protection Unit. That's our standardized and formalized response to when other state and nationally elected officials need some level of ad hoc protection. Brett, you've done exactly what I've asked you to do. You always did it with humility. You always did it with a smile on your face. And you decided to go on your own terms and for the right reasons. You deserve this, and Renee, thank you for allowing us to rely on his willingness to serve. We'll send him back to you now. Thank you.
With that, Renee, if you'll come forward. It's customary that upon retirement of many years of service to the agency, we thank the family and spouse of our retiring member. So with that, we have a certificate of appreciation, and I'll read it. Renee Johnson, for your steadfast support of the Kansas Highway Patrol throughout your spouse's career, your love, support, and selflessness helped to make it possible for your spouse to make a difference on Kansas highways. Your devotion and commitment to our agency is much appreciated. Back to you. Brad, you want to come forward? Also, a certificate of retirement for Major Brett Johnson. Kansas Highway Patrol wishes to extend its congratulations to you on your retirement. Your dedication and hard work for the state of Kansas for 26 years will be greatly missed. Good luck in your future endeavors. And it's signed by Governor Laura Kelly and Colonel Eric Smith.
I wasn't sure they were gonna sign it, but I appreciate it.
And I'll say to Brett, we came on pretty close to time frame together, but we obviously were in different parts of the state, so I didn't know Brett very well. But I'll say over the last 2.5 years in headquarters, that I would say if someone asked to describe Brett, the most, I guess, easiest way to describe it is his steady-handed leadership. He always has a calm presence, and as the Colonel mentioned, if things start getting nuclear, Brett's always an easy way to bring you back down. So I thank you for that. You'll definitely be missed in headquarters. So thank you.